Hey everyone, Krazyed here, and I just wanted to showcase one of the other builds that I've been playing in Legacy League. It's a Berzerker, and I'll go ahead and start off with the shape strand here and kind of talk you through it, and then we can go over my equipment and skill tree right at the very end. Now, I'm inspired to play this Berzerker because I didn't really know what life changes would come. I figured life would get a buff, and I also figured that ES might get a nerf, and I didn't know exactly how the changes would affect poison in the beta either. So I wanted to make a life build kind of off something that might be strong but do pure elemental and non-crit. So I came up with this Berzerker. I do Castrol Channeling, Scorching Ray, and Firestorm. I have 8k life, as you can see. All of my equipment basically stacks life, resists, and strength. And I really like this character. It's not as fast as my other character that I made a video on at clearing maps, and that was a Kinetic Blast Miner, Saboteur. But I still clear relatively fast, and I make up a little bit of time on bosses and like essence mobs that are really tough, just because I don't have to like spend time putting down an extra decoy totem. You know, I don't have to run around, make sure they're next to a wall. I do really good in breaches. I can basically just stand still. I'm permanently fortified. I have Vaal pact for instant leech. So, and I have leap slam with fortify and faster attacks for a little bit of mobility when I need it. Overall, I'm really happy with the build. It's very tanky. It's pretty good at boss killing. I did clear a Forge of the Phoenix with it. It wasn't that difficult. So I'm, like I said, I'm pretty happy. One thing it does take getting used to with this build is the fact that you can see I'm kind of just like scrolling past and moving. That's not something I'm used to. Like, it's the dot on the Scorching Ray along with the Firestorm that usually accompanies it will clean up almost all the AoE, but you kind of have to get used to moving on before everything is dead, and that can be a little bit awkward at first. So just something to keep in mind if you think about playing this build, which I highly recommend it. It was super easy to level. I started leveling with 2 driftwood wands, the sprig leaves, and a tabula rasa, but I soon moved on just to some elemental scepters by my late 30s. Super easy. In fact, I didn't get any damage until nodes really until I was about level 40 or 50 when I started picking up a lot of them. I mean, I already had Vaal pact. I wasn't too concerned with it. I mean, I got it all just from the Castrol Channeling and Firestorm. And, yeah. So here I am at the boss. Now you may notice I've got elemental weakness on these guys, and that's because I have a dual curse setup with this guy. And that gives me a lot more damage. We'll go ahead and kill these guys, and let's get out of here. So let's go over my gear first. Doriani's Scepter, I'm dual wielding them. It's best in slot. This elemental damage, I have 87 on both of mine, but it can go up to 100. I picked mine up for about 5 to 10 chaos each, I believe. It's been a while. And they give attack speed for your leap slam. They give cast speed, which helps build up your stacks faster on your Scorching Ray. So overall, really good. The 100% ones or near perfect ones usually go for an Exalt or more. So, you know, lacking 10 to 20% increase, not more, damage on these is not that bad. Next, I've got my gloves. I've already glove enchants. Anything on hit or on kill is good. On hits tend to have a cooldown effect, so you could do a curse on hit with these. And in my gloves, I have elemental weakness high level, curse on hit high level, Firestorm, low level with a level 1 cast when damage taken. Here I have cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, and increased duration, and then as I described, 4 to 5 faster attack, Sleep Slam. Strength res on my belt, and life, as high life as you can get it. Strength, resistances, elemental resistance and move speed on the boots, and then I have Blasphemy with flammability, and Arctic Armor just for extra defense. And cast when damage taken. This doesn't do anything. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do. I'd probably want to add another slot that's blue in these boots and have this be a Vaal lightning trap just for some increased damage on bosses. Blind here, Firestorm, high level, cast when damage taken, high level, and summon Flame Golem. That just gives me a little bit extra damage. And blind doesn't really do anything for me. Since I'm using the Unwavering Stance keystone. So, yeah. And then just life, I can reroll something else besides energy shield on this ring. But life resistances, strength, just everywhere you can get it. I actually crafted my chest piece myself. I bought up as many 6-link energy shield and ES armor hybrids as I could that were already 6-linked, and then used Deafening Essence of Greed to roll up to 126 max life. I got a pretty good roll on this one, and then just added strength suffix since all my resistances were capped on all the rest of my gear. You can use a regular tabula or any other 6-link armor with these colors, or just a +1 tabula was what I was actually using up until I crafted this. So you don't have to have this, but it's definitely a best in slot. I mean, I get another 140 life out of this thing, so really good if you can afford it. And my gem links here are Scorching Ray, which I can level up, and Empower, which I can get 2 more levels on, Elemental Focus, Channeling or Cast while Channeling, Controlled Destruction, and Firestorm. So, and I can get 2 more levels on this as well. So that's my gear. Let's go ahead and go over the passive tree. For my Ascendancy nodes, I went for Cloaked and Savagery for my first 2, and Normal and Cruel, and then Merciless was Crave the Slaughter, and then Aspect of Carnage finally in my final Labyrinth. This is the Life Leech here was necessary for these guys. It was really nice to level with. This was just a bonus damage. I have done so much damage the entire time I haven't needed it. In leveling, I actually went up this way first through Born to Fight and went straight for Elemental Overload. You can pick up some of the side nodes here and here in this life node if you want. You can even, I think, increase it a little bit if you go this way, this path, and then you can spec out of these 3 nodes later on. It's up to you. But I just made a beeline straight for it. I think I picked up Elementalist just for some extra elemental resists, and then I skipped these life nodes, these damage nodes, until after this was done. After I got Elemental Overload, I think I picked up a little bit more life, and then made my way past the Scion Life Wheel and over here towards Vaal Pact. I did pick up the Exceptional Performance for increased skill effect duration. This is actually increases you 2-fold, which increases the duration of the Firestorm, but it also increases the duration of the debuff that lasts on from Scorching Ray, so it's easier to build up your 8 stacks just a little bit faster. I suggest cutting through this route after you get Unwavering Stance in these life nodes. Just then use your skill points to pick up these 4 nodes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your jewel socket, and then you can spec out of these 3 here. If you need more intelligence, you can't until you get any int on gear, or you make your way up here for leveling. You can equip some jewel sockets for just some extra int to level your spells with. It's really important to go ahead and get that out of the way, and don't feel bad about picking up like Ancestral Knowledge or any of the other int nodes that you're next to. Just as a temporary, you can spec out of them later. Once again, leveling with this build was super easy. I actually picked up, like I said earlier, all the life nodes before I picked up damage nodes, and I branched my way out here, and I actually picked up Whispers of Doom pretty late. I didn't really feel I needed it until I was well into maps, so just something to keep in mind. If I were to push this character to like level 95, then Skittering Ruins is actually what I'm going to be working for the next couple levels. You can drop off these Revenge of the Hunted. They just give you life, and in fact they're less efficient than these nodes as far as life is concerned, because this is 16% for 4 nodes and this is 12% for 3, so it's 4% all around. It's just this is an extra node. So if you want some more damage, probably drop these guys off and then pick up Skittering Ruins for extra curse effectiveness. And once again, that'll be twofold effective because it will minus all the resistances from elemental weakness and then also your flammability. Here. Elemental weakness, it is important to get 20% quality on it. They can be expensive, but it's worth it because it's a minus 10% to all elemental resistances, whereas flammability just gets a chance to ignite for extra quality, so not super important. And you can also get extra curse effectiveness here from your curse on hit support for that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a really tanky character. I've really enjoyed playing him. Oh, sorry, all my jewels are also strength and damage, or life and damage I should say. This one only has 1 damage roll, but it has some bonus resistances, and it has my cannot be cursed with silence. All my other jewels are 6 to 7% increased maximum life, and then damage, spell damage while dual wielding, and then just any other fire damage, increased damage, spell damage is enough to get you by. The 3 stat jewels like this, I got them anywhere between 10 and 20 chaos, but they can go as high as 50 to an exalt. A 4 stat jewel can easily be 2 to 3 exalts for a 4 stat that's good for this build. So that's with life and 3 damage modifiers, which is definitely what you want. So yeah, damage, and then some other alternative things you could do if you didn't want to pick up Skittering Ruins or these life nodes. You've got life nodes here. You can get an extra jewel slot if you need bonus resistances. Also, this is close by, the Tireless Wheel. So you've got some options of what you can do. You've also got Juggernaut and Endurance charges over here. I don't have any way of gaining Endurance or Frenzy charges. I haven't felt I needed them. I think this build is going to be really strong going into the beta, considering all the notes that we've already seen, so I'm not too worried about it. I've got 80, almost 8600 exactly effective HP, so it's pretty good. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and like, subscribe, and I will see y'all out in Rayclast.